Do I have much tungsten? Actually I do. Happy days. Let's cancel this. We're going to replace that with a tungsten pipe. Right there. And then run the conveyor rails all the way up. Now, there is potential for this to be quite stupidly hot, so I am going to make it of material that will be able to survive that kind of heat. Annoying though it may be. In fact, I may need to take it a little bit higher than that. And to that end, I'm going to have to take this up a little bit higher than that as well. Let's bring this up by 4. Something like this. And then... it doesn't really matter at this point. We can just use regular tile up here. I think this may be the best way of taking care of it. Right, let's bring the ladder up. Now, unfortunately, we're going to need to bring these up around them, but other than that, this should all work out reasonably well. Fingers crossed. Now, that one actually does need to be a 9. Same for that one. Maybe we'll get all of that done. Oh, that's fantastic. At this point, we can literally set this up now. Okay, I think we've got our tamed copper volcano. Still converting that into steam around there, I think, because it's so incredibly hot. The copper is 450 degrees. Rather toasty. I'm thinking oil in here. I'm thinking that's probably going to be the best way of taking care of that. And tungsten pipes the whole way. Let's have a watch of how hot this is. There we go. Steam is in the area now. We're going to see some carbon dioxide, but it'll eventually get out of there. Yeah, the copper is 500 degrees there. Painful, but, you know. Now, on the flip side, the steam in here did not get particularly high. There's only 38 grams of carbon dioxide in there. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Eventually, that may get piped out, or it might not. I could force the issue and just vent everything from in here, but I think I'll wait for a dormancy cycle on the copper volcano for that. Okay, let's check in on chat. Bowtie. Aavak, Casa said to annoy you for it. Ah, that Casa. Oh, poor Casa. She's knackered, bless her. Right. I think this should work reasonably well for us. I mean, it's a shame that this is going to be shutting down pretty soon, but oh well. It's not the worst. I do kind of want them to get this finished quickly, though, but... Could we perhaps get these deconstructed at least? And then deconstruct that one. There we go, that should be all the tungsten we need. Oh, it was. There we go. I'll just wait for that to be finished and then we'll bridge this across. Actually, that should work. Yeah, perfect. Okay. And here's the next drop of... Now, we actually need this one done as a massive priority, because if that doesn't get done, we've got nowhere to drop this off. So I've kind of timed this poorly. This is going to suck. This may actually break a few things, because it's just going to be held in this, slowly heating it up. Don't be stood there when it comes out the other end, though. Actually, is that managing to hold it? Oh, there we go. This is rather warm. This may be a little bit too hot for the liquid moving through here. Actually, no. No, it's not. It seems that the polluted oxygen is not able to pull the heat out of this fast enough. So that was a bit of a saving grace. On the plus side, though, this is going to generate a little bit of power. It'll just have little fits and spurts, but it's not like I've made this into a generator area, so it doesn't need to do anything in particular. Just needs to work. I would like oil, please. Crude oil. On an 8. Copy setting over there. Let's have a look at the temperature. It's reasonably cooling, that area. Right. I'm going to want all of this swept up right now. And this, actually. Pretty chuffed with that, actually. That's the first time I've ever tamed a volcano. Oh, take care, Hoshisaku. Thank you for dropping by. There we go. I mean, I could put water up there equally. Is there any more? Yeah, there's a fair bit, actually. Okay, so first and foremost, let's get this mopped so it doesn't get weird. So, and then let's get a sweep order. That is going to cause all sorts of problems for me. Because they're going to try and sweep everything down here because I've got on such a high priority. So I'm going to drop this down to 2 at this point. Which is higher than my mass storage, but not so high that it'll take precedence over a location that actually wants that stuff. Okay. Calm down, it's just a little bit of mopping. There we go. Let's see where you're taking that. You're taking it all the way over here. Right. Okay, dropping those down to 7s then. And making sure that these are on 8s. Yep. I did a fairly solid job. There we go. The crude oil managed to get up to 125 before the radiant pipe started to pull that down. Entering here at 25, leaving here at almost 40. Actually, I shouldn't say leaving here. Let's have a look down here. Yeah, 36-ish. How much crude oil have we got? Let's take this up to about 100 kilos per tile. Time for perpetual power problems with Aavak. Good morning! Hello, Univan, and how you doing, mate? Thank you so much for the support, buddy. We are currently solving some of the problems. We've now got basically infinite copper, which I'm super happy about, as it happens. Have we managed to get rid of the CO2 in here? Look at material display. Gas. We have. The CO2 is completely gone. Hooray! Don't ever have to go in there again to do anything. Super duper happy with that. Alright, let's have a quick look at that copper. Oh, that's so much better. It's now down to 54 degrees. This is extremely good. Exceptionally good, in fact. It's coming down at 25 degrees, going up about -6. Coming back in at 32. That is absolutely wonderful. How much copper have we got now? It's 352 kilos right there. And we're already up to 18 tons. Used a little bit down there, but it's fine. There they go. These kick in, generate a little bit of extra power for us. Look how quickly that is shifting color down. $150. I could, if I wanted to bust in and have to go through purging the steam again, which I could do when the volcano has completely gone dormant. I could go in there and take care of that. I could add in a sensor to only allow these to kick in when it's at 200 degrees or not. I briefly thought about it before I set this up, but... Hey, Lady Sheelab, how you doing, sweetie? I could drop a thermal plate in there, but the issue with that is that it would share heat with all of this, which isn't exactly great. I think we can shut this down for now. I mean, I could put a thermal plate in there. I could likewise make this a metal, all metal tiles to shift around the temperature a little bit more evenly. That isn't necessarily a bad idea, though it would also shift the temperature down. No, I think this works okay, because if I put it in a thermal shift plate, it would be dumping heat into the insulated tile as well, and although it doesn't move much heat, it does move some. I think that would possibly cause me more issues than solve them, honestly. And I could add an extra layer of insulation down here. I really wanted to, but I'm not sure I care to. But let's go ahead and mop this up. I think we're done with taming this volcano. I think it is safe to say we have completed our objective. And at this point, everything in there is being cooled down very, very nicely. Okay. Alright, let's have a look at... Oh, bloody hell, that's messed up again. Yeah, the issue here is it doesn't share neatly. So it's just sat there, slowly slowly getting too cold. So we've got a minor volcano there. I believe we may have another volcano elsewhere as well, but for the time being, it doesn't feel too bad. Yeah, Shackle Draconis is complaining that the inbound steam isn't hot enough. Because once it drops below 120, these can no longer generate power from it. But at the moment, this is doing reasonably well. Perhaps one of the things I should have done is rather than getting rid of the copper and then having to cool it down, I should have kept it in here on conveyor rails. Missed a trick there, didn't I? Damn. That was rather silly of me. I could really have made use of that copper and just kept it cycling through the volcano. That would have actually been quite nice. Because it's dumping a lot of heat outside of the volcano right now that I'm having to deal with. Whereas if I'd kept it inside, that might be something for when we're working on the when the copper volcano goes idle, which is in 10 cycles, and I'll have a solid 50 cycles to rejig this. Just Jinx, you had like 4 of us saying that. Oh, I'm sorry. It's sometimes a little bit hard for me to follow chat. And also, to be fair, there's a certain element that once I kind of have a cool idea, I kind of get very focused on it. And I just try to work through that. How are things over here? It is still trying to get rid of the gas. Oh my goodness. This is dumb. But at least it's now dealing with hundreds of is it milligrams or micrograms rather than thousands. Some iron. You know what? Sure, I'll take the iron. Don't think we need it, but I'll take it. How's this room doing? But yeah, cycling that copper around inside the volcano would be a very good idea. Let me have a think of how we would do that. So the conveyor rail would probably sit somewhere over here. Or well, yeah, I'd probably want the conveyor loader over here. With a bridge going across there. I'd want to pull this item around the room, but I'm going to have to use so much steel to do that. That would be a big problem, actually. And it's not necessarily that I would need that steel going forward, but I kind of would, because the conveyor rails would be the ones taking the heat, wouldn't they? I don't know. The conveyor rail isn't too bad, thinking about it. Might be okay with it, might not be. The other thing I could do is, much as I'm working up here... Where are we? I could have a separate area. Like, the first steam gens exist only to tame the volcano and stop it from damaging any of the delicate circuitry. But then pipe the extremely hot copper into a second steam room, much like this design, where it then just cycles for a while until it's dropped the temperature low enough that I don't want it there anymore, and then again dump it out. That's definitely a possibility. Xenovoid, you're still streaming? I am, but I'm probably not going to be for too much longer, unfortunately. The big issue that I've got is how very, very hot that copper is. That being said, by the time the copper is in solid form, it's not that hot. Yeah, a second steam room would actually probably be okay. A second steam one would probably be alright. Let's have a look in here. We're very close to having this place fully pumped empty. I hope it happens soon. Once we have a vacuum here, I can start filling this in with copper and diamond, then seal it off. And finally, after much waiting, so much waiting, we can re-engage this. And actually start feeding my shovels again, which would probably be nice for them. I'm certain they would be very, very excited about this, actually. Very oxygenated room there. Somewhat less of an oxygenated room. Let's get this swept. Actually, no, don't sweep this part. Since I've already dug it down like that, we're just going to get rid of that. Completely. And we'll just continue with the illusion that it was intentional. Oh yeah, this is running again. Hello, fellow Oni heads, Oni fans. What's the collective terms? Dupes, probably. Hello, fellow duplicants. Or duplicants if you're in my colony. But okay, I mean, this does the job. And once this has cooled off a little bit, we should be in a much better position. There we go, and they've shut down now. Well, I'm super happy with that little volcano. Honestly, I think it's doing a fantastic job. This place is no longer cold enough to deal with all of this CO2. There is on the outside, but very much not so on the inside. That is a kind of a bad sign for me, I feel. We're going to need to deal with that sooner rather than later. Okay. Let's have a look around. We probably need... Is this one taking... Yeah, this one's taking care of tungsten whenever I need it. I feel that this definitely needs to be cooled, but it just doesn't have enough going on there to be able to pull that cooling off in time, which is not exactly good. And that's with all of these running full bore. That being said, we're starting to back it up now. Ooh. That's very nice to see, I must say. Alright, so we've got a couple of ideas on what we need to be doing here. We'll get... I think the hydrogen generator idea is a pretty solid one. Taming that volcano was I think, really good. I'm extremely happy with that. And based off of this, I'm kind of emboldened to try taming this one. Which actually produces... Well, it produces a lot more. Well, no, it doesn't. Eruption period is only 77 seconds every 9,690 seconds. This one produces very little. It produces a lot per second. Well, you know, it might actually balance out. But we've got a full bore volcano over here. Its eruption period is more frequent, and it produces almost twice as much magma. So that might be a decent one to get going. Overall, though, I'm fairly content with what we've managed to get going. Right. I should have fixed this like a million years ago. My bad. On the plus side, it has still been kind of working, but kind of is not fully. Right. With that said, though, we have finished everything down here, so we can pull that up. Indeed, we can just like strip everything out down here. No longer need power in there either. We can mop this clean, and we can sweep it and get everything ready for us to set up. I'm thinking petroleum. I'm thinking we dump petroleum in here. Not crude oil, because honestly crude oil can just go and make more petroleum, but wherever we've gotten petroleum available, maybe this would be a decent one to filter that into. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe honestly, what I could do... What I could do is have this one... I'd have to prime it, but have this one set up for the... polluted water. This one primed for... Well, just to send clean water up there. Maybe. We might be able to create a proper liquid gathering area over here. Like have a main pipeline that is just for whatever it is. In whatever kind of mixture. And then just and then use mechanical filters to pull it off into whatever it needs to be. That's been shut down for a long time, which is very nice to see. 28 degrees there, coming in at minus 3.5. Very good. Let's have a look at the base. The base is rather chilly, I must say. Except for this part, which is very warm. Also this part, which is getting warm oxygen from over here. Very warm oxygen. Mostly this base is rather cold. Even I would call that cold. 10 degrees. Though, at the same time, it's also kinda, I don't know, cuddly. I think I'd say that was decently cuddly. Oh no. Poop! Ba, ba, ba. Rip Draco. I realized all too late that, wait a second. Fairly certain that we switched over to cracking Draco eggs when we had a population of glossy Dracos. So, here and there, our population has been slaughtering the Dracos wherever they found them. Can't say I'm too happy about that, because now we don't have any glossy Dracos, unless it is a biome where they are still safe from us. Still safe from us. From us being the main part. There may be over here. In this area, now, Dracos are very commonly found in these sort of biomes around here, so we may find one. It may be a possibility. Don't want to get your hopes up, chat, but there is a small chance that we will find one. Oops. A daisy. But yeah, I think that is, well, quite a pain in the bum if I'm perfectly honest. But also, we haven't been able to get over there for ages. Pop that there. By and large, I think we have done a fairly solid job of getting this place back in order. We've got a rising supply of food. I need to rejig this. I need to build at least one double strength self-powered oxygen maker. But I'm kind of feeling two. We've got so many sources of water on this map. There is no reason for us to skimp on that. There is no reason for us to worry about it. Setting this up a bit better so that it can run better and for longer, that would be nice. Quite nice, actually. But once we've got a bigger oxygen supply, I think the next big thing for us would be to to build up a new like bunk area. Maybe literally just another one of these. Same sort of size. Maybe a different collection of assorted thingamajigs. But yeah, something along these lines that would be able to house another 12 duplicants. We could go for a 24 duplicant colony. Boopaloo, I have not set up the launch pad yet, no. No, this one was purely trying to get power sorted and a couple of little bits and bobs. And I think we've done a fairly solid job of it, honestly. Is this place now a vacuum? No, I can't believe it's not a vacuum yet. Oh, that's frustrating. How long have we been waiting, chat? Rather long time, I fear. We're probably going to be waiting quite a long time more. You think the water is evaporating and adding gas? No, it doesn't. That isn't modeled in the game yet, which is more the pretty, because I think that would be really cool if it did. But no, that level of detail isn't yet modeled. I say yet in hopes. We are trying to keep these things tuned up. Ooh, now that the stop using lead and start using copper. We should definitely stop using lead for these things and only use copper instead. Now that we have infinite, for all intents and purposes. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for our stream tonight. I've got a bunch of chores I need to go and take care of. We've got a house inspection today from the landlord. Well, you know, the letting agency. So yeah, I'm going to go and do a spot of cleaning before I can tuck down for the night. I am super duper happy with what we've managed to do. I think taming this volcano will be a bit of a turning point for us. And it's also taught me how to deal with this, and I'm actually really excited about that. I think it's going to be really cool to get all of this set up and properly pulling the heat out of this, because look at that refined copper. I mean, as it's traveling up here, let's have a look at that instead. There we are, 586 degrees. It's only 8.8 kilos of the stuff, but yeah, once we've got all of that on a conveyor rail, that is going to be pretty cool, I think. I think we're going to be able to do some really interesting things with that. And keep these things running much more aggressively, which I'm quite looking forward to, if I'm honest. But yeah, okay. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. If you got a little bit of watching time left in you, then you know the drill. Hang tight now, we'll find someone to raid. But if that is it for you, or you've been watching these over on YouTube, I really do hope you've enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next, which will be in a couple of days. But until then, and as always, take care, everyone.